Hello there lads, and welcome to my tutorial. Today, we are going to be giving some tips on how to perfect your server spawn. This will just be little things that I've noticed across various servers that might just help you if you're trying to cover up your barren wasteland of a spawn right now. Anyway, let's hop right into it. There are two main types of spawn. There's the pathed out spawn and the open spawn. Ask yourself, is my server's purpose immediately clear? If not, then allow your users to learn about your server through a pathed spawn. It's probably best to make your server separated through a wall or a gap. You can do canyons, different things like that. You generally want to keep your spawn feeling like its own individual area, so try to make it feel different than the rest of the server, like somewhere more interesting, or perhaps just make it a nice starting place. Personally, when designing pathways and whatnot, I really like to use circles myself. I just think they look really nice, and they give everything such a clean look. But if you're going for something more modern, you don't have to do circle pathways. That's just something I really like, and it makes your spawn feel well-rounded and cool. It might help to separate your place into sections. If you have a couple of game modes, then you could make it direction-based. Like, you go over here, you have the PvP, over here's creative, or you could have one section where you just select any game mode you want. You could have them all listed out, another section for rules, another for info, maybe crates. I know a lot of servers do that. So just kind of have paths leading to dedicated places. It always feels cool, it always is cool, always will be cool. One thing I really like to see in spawns is just some nice labeling. You could have signs on the ground, yeah, and for some servers that will work, but it can be a lot cooler to have just some large text in the sky. I mean, it can feel out of place with some styles, but most of the time you're pretty good doing that. Now let's talk about displaying your rules or just some general info. There's two great options I know of. First is a classic board of rules or information. It's just kind of sitting on a stand, it's a bunch of signs across a wall. You don't have to do signs, you have like just a big wall of signs, and that can be done well, it can be done cool. But here's the second option. You see, there are some different plugins that can do holograms. Basically, if you've ever been on like Hypixel, where they have the wall of floating text, holograms. Bam. That can be such a cool way to display your information, and it can definitely give a more professional look to an otherwise unprofessional feeling server. As I mentioned, these rules can be placed in a section, but I've also seen plenty of servers where they'll put it directly at spawn to guarantee that new people see it. So if you think that's a good option, go right ahead. Remember, this is all your choice. You're making the choices here. I'm here to give you advice. So that's most of what I have to say about these kind of pathed out spawns. The last thing I would like to mention though is just make sure that it's fun to be in. Make sure that you get that excitement. Looking around it, you really think, wow, this is such a cool server, there's so much energy, because the spawn is the first thing people will see. You want people to feel that energy entering your server. Your server shouldn't only be fun after a while, make your spawn fun. It will always be what people see first. So that's all my advice for a path spawn, but what if you don't want paths? What if you just want the player to end up there and leave? Well, in that case, mostly you're going to focus on your build. There's not much too important here. I would recommend again the holograms plugin just to get your rules set down. You most certainly want people to see those rules. That being said, you don't have to have rules. I've seen a lot of anarchy servers which love to use this kind of spawn, and it works great. People are there for chaos, they just want to get out and run free, so let them. Another thing that's helpful to keep in mind with these is be aware of PvP. Try to make it so an open spawn where you just run out into the world can't be abused in PvP situations where people can run in and out, so try and get some separation. I wouldn't make some giant wall or anything. If people have an elytra, just let them in, I guess. But definitely try and have some kind of fence or just small drop, something to keep people from abusing it in PvP. Lastly, with these little open spawns, I would recommend making them fairly symmetrical. They're oftentimes rather small anyway. Of course, if you're going for a big build, again, you don't have to. You can make a nice open area, but most of the time, it's going to be small. So try symmetry. It helps. I hope this tutorial could have helped at least a couple of you out there. Remember, this is mostly just tips, but hey, if it helps you, it helps you. And if it does help you, consider leaving a like and a comment down below for the algorithm. Please, I need views. Anyway, peace.